Here we go with Prophet Jeremiah on the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. And I'm starting with the nose. It seems like that's the point of impact, so to speak, because that nose is like pressed right over that hand, overlapping that strong hand, old strong hand, and like nice big thick knuckles. So I'm starting straight into that. I feel like that's, I'm just compelled to start there. It's usually random, but when you think about it, where else could you start if you had to start somewhere? It's like start right in the middle, in the middle of the action. It almost looks like this picture always makes me think like it looks like the beard, he's like sneezed the beard. So the man needs a Kleenex. All right, so I start with the hand there, and God, this is like such a powerful, odd shaped hand in a way too. There's so much going on. Like Michelangelo seems to create bones in one way. He knows the anatomy underneath there, but there's that wrist bone that pops out. That'll be emphasized later. But then, the outside here, it's like there's so many subtle curves. In fact, I didn't even add all the bumps because there's so many. And just generally, I kind of smoothed it out, you see, because there were some rough lines there. And there's a nice, I love the volume of the shirt here. And I do take some consideration to do some shading to indicate that. But I don't know if there's time to really go to town on it and to do those volumes justice. But those highlights look so nice. I love it helps with the colors without doing a lot of shading on the cloth. It's hard to convey, the color changes and the highlights. And here, there's a lot of shadow. Later on, I'm going to go in with the side of my pencil and really shade that in. But I don't want to do that now because I know what I have to do. And the reason I jump now to the nose is because my hand's going to run all over that bottom of the drawing. So you see, I'm actually carefully trying to keep my hand on the right-hand side of the pencil marks so that, I don't smudge the drawing. And I think later I'm going to consciously maybe extend the pencil, like where it comes to the top of the head and the hair. I'll extend the pencil and hold it farther away, just so there's less of a chance that my hand will run over his hand where I drew, because I don't want to smudge things. Like here, you see? So now I'm very conscious, and then I'm holding the pencil a little bit farther. Yeah. Gosh, this is such an amazing picture. All his drawings and, his paintings on the Sistine Chapel are phenomenal. Great contrast here, and I use the side of my pencil for that. But really, in reality, it doesn't turn out as dark as it could be. I try to go over it a couple of times, but it just doesn't, I could shade it more, like with the tip of my pencil. But I think I'm kind of afraid that once I start to shade it heavily with the tip of my pencil. Like you see the eye there, the eyelashes, that's like the tip of my pencil. So it could be as dark as that. And technically it should be, that shoulder should be that dark. But I'm afraid that once I get into that, I'm just gonna get sucked in and this is gonna be a long drawing. So I think I am speeding it up now in review to do the commentary, but this was longer than my other recent studies. This is around like 24 minutes, which is a little bit longer than I would typically like on a quick study. But I really love Michelangelo. And here you see when I was touching up the hair, as I get higher up on the head, the pencil, you see I keep moving the pencil, and in fact my hand doesn't move from that position. I'm always at the bottom right hand corner of the page, and I hold the pencil farther away because I am afraid of smudging. And then here, I think it's like a style choice that I'm making here, where I'm using the pencil on its side, because I'm deciding that I'm not gonna do a lot of detail for the hair because I can already anticipate based on the speed that I'm drawing at and the attention to detail that I'm paying to this drawing, that it's gonna take me longer than usual. So some aspects of it I have to consciously rush, and not necessarily rush, but like kind of stylize with the side of my pencil. And and then I'm making choices in the beard. I want to fade that out, so I'm making choices there. This is one of the most exciting parts right here, because when I end up, the ear kind of fades into the drawing, into the painting. And then when I end up now getting to the neck in a second or two, when I get to the neck, there's a lot of little nuance there's muscle in the neck. And, okay. So, okay, there we go. So there's muscle in the neck, and I'm noticing the contours there. There's a couple of lines, and then there's this like contour, that I'm trying to replicate with the side of my pencil, and correcting the collar there. Gosh, I love these drawings, these paintings so much. I never get tired of copying Michelangelo. It's just a classic. It just doesn't get better than this. So yeah, I think like the neck and the collar is probably my favorite part of this drawing, because if you look back and forth, like the wrinkles on the neck, it's pretty exact. It's the closest. I mean, the hand, there's so many curves, it's easy to like screw it up a little bit because of so many little bumps and things and the location. So here we go, the side of the pencil. Now I figure, hey, I got most of it like up top done, and now I can go in with the side of my pencil and really get those gradients in, to show contour. And then I kind of put a general gray, and then I start fuzzing in, the darker parts and the lighter parts of, replicating that shading with that's done in paint, so I'm replicating it with pencil. Yeah. Noticing more and more of that. And I feel like the hand in the end turned out really well, considering. Maybe like the bottom of the hand, I probably didn't get like the shape just perfect, and there's like this weird kind of bump. there. But, I'm not trying to get it perfect. I'm just trying to follow in Michelangelo's footsteps and maybe learn something about anatomy, like to notice what he's finding in his anatomy drawing, and to notice like the folds of the shirt there and little things like that. And then to just like here, I'm just noticing like the wrinkles, so I'm just looking for detail and seeing as much as I can possibly notice in his drawing. You know, like it's just it's an to some extent it's an observation exercise. Here there's like kind of a braid going on in his beard. It's like a twist and a braid. So that's kind of a neat little detail that he has. It's always a pleasure drawing and copying Michelangelo. Please try it yourself and let me know what you think. If you have any specific questions about this drawing, message me and let me know. Happy to answer. Have fun.